our topic is about the consequence of fast food chains. Now, first, let's proceed to the background of consequence of fast food chains. Nowadays, people are working and also eating at fast food chains, but this topic is focuses on the consequence that might happen if you can't proper handle your job at the fast food chains. Nowadays, many people prefer eating at a fast food chain because of the affordable price and a good price when it comes to the bundling. Working in a fast food chain is a big responsibility because fast food chains are the big industry and you need to be wise and also have a timer for your cooker when you cook some food or fried some food. You also need to maintain the temperature at the back of the house and the front of the house because they have differences temperatures. The temperatures at the front of the house is 86 Fahrenheit or 20 Celsius, and the temperature of the back of the house is the 78 or negative 18 Celsius. This temperature needs to be maintained at all time. At the person get some stuff, they need to wear some special equipment to avoid bacteria that might cause spoilage or bacteria. Do you wonder what the front and the back of the house like? In the restaurant, there's the back of the house where the fish of meat, chicken, and keep prevent the spoilage of the air. Every day, they always check in the back of the house if there's some spoilage that might happen to their stocks of to avoid some serving poisonous food to the customers. The front of the house is where the vegetables, fruit, and other condiments are stored, but the temperature in the front of the house is normal and it is sealed to avoid also the spoilage and bacteria that might spread in the vegetable and the condiments that we use. If a restaurant failed to properly protect customers from food poisoning, serious consequence might result. The FDA also expecting fast food chains primarily like in McDo. If we can't observe that other fast food chains like McDo, Jollibee, and Popeyes are maintaining their food and ingredients properly because they have timer and daily check like an FDA. Also, they check the date. They also have a list check where the food listed and organized to easily to check if they have some bacteria and affected to stop the spreading bacteria. And while other restaurants need to maintain to avoid the bad comments the restaurant because most of the new restaurants they have built need to know the importance of the back and the front of the house and to avoid also the food poisoning to the customers.
This study about the consequences of the fast food chain is helpful for other people that plan to apply in the fast food chain industry. It might help them and guide them because the fast food chain industry has wonderful jobs, mostly for working students, to earn some money for their school. It also helps people get a decent job. But the consequences of this are that company customers can't avoid this, which is why these studies help them to be active listeners, even if there's a bad consequences that might happen to the staff. Fast food chains are also a big industry and need to know and avoid the hazards that might cause a big impact on the restaurants. This study focuses on fast food chains and the safety of customers, including the food that customers eat because the managers need to be able to check up on the kitchen to avoid accidents and hazard situations. This study focuses on restaurants and the consequences of hazard situations that might occur to staff and customers. This might give warning and also additional studies in the role that they have because this study is focuses in the restaurant and handle and being a good manager. This agenda helps to know more about the consequences that might have happened and also how to avoid them in the best way. Included here is the stock room to prevent spoilage of the food and vegetable that can be served to your customers. This helps the food and beverage industry to learn and know more about this course and its requirements. At the same time, you need to be active in any consequences that might have happened. These studies which are mostly conducted in kitchen and storage facilities, assist the food and beverages strands in expanding their knowledge of restaurant and their consequences.
This presentation focuses on the monitoring of correct food handling in the restaurant's employees and in the back and front of the house to avoid the spread of bacteria in the food. The purpose of this observation study is to see if the restaurant can be maintained by having regular inspections of the cables, kitchens, gas, and the food. This recognition for the food and beverages strand acknowledges that dealing with consequences in the fast food chain industry is a significant risk that requires constant worker observation. These insights aids in recognizing the food and beverages businesses which may receive some research and deal with many effects that may arise in fast food restaurants. This also aids us in placing orders and identifying easy to understand other students who work or plan to work in fast food chains, as doing so poses a significant health danger. They have a number of processes in this data to assist us to acquire some student feedback.
The topic that we do is a kind of this study is in order to gather opinions and also observation in restaurant. Hazards include here is the risk that in a based on the consequence of the fast food consumptions. The subject of observes and this research we're the grade 12 student in the DRU during the academic year 2021. We took the course of food and beverage duties to eliminations and physically occurring their responses. The research and observations gathered by Google Academic about the fast food chain